Let's talk about Drake, because this time, things aren't just messy, they're straight up explosive. Something darker is brewing behind the scenes, and it's not just about petty rap beefs anymore. What's unfolding right now feels like the kind of power play that could shake the whole hip-hop industry to its core. Drake and his crew seem to be on a mission to silence anyone who dares speak out, and the way they're moving is cold-blooded. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because what's coming next isn't just for clicks. It's for everyone who still believes hip-hop deserves a fair voice. The whole culture needs to hear this loud and clear. For real, there's something nasty happening here, and most people haven't even connected the dots yet. Drake's not just out here acting petty, he's trying to rewrite the narrative completely. After striking out with diss after diss, Kendrick Lamar, LeBron, DeMar DeRozan, A$AP, Rocky, Future, Metro Boomin, Tyler, The Creator, the list keeps growing like he's playing whack-a-mole with his career on the line. And now, since those shots didn't hit, he's got a brand new target. Not another rapper this time, but the people who talk about rappers, the hip-hop media, the creators, the voices, the channels that keep fans informed every single day. Drake's war isn't just against his rivals anymore, it's against the truth itself. So buckle up, because what we're about to uncover will make you question everything you thought you knew about him. And now, let's get into this wild sub-pack situation, because this one's pure madness. Drake's team just took things to another level by dragging Screwface Jean into his so-called Kendrick lawsuit, acting like the man's part of some grand conspiracy to ruin him. Seriously? The audacity here is unreal. Screw's literally just a content creator reacting to music and culture, same as the rest of us. He even reacted to my own commentary on Drake. And next thing you know, Drake's out here adding him to legal paperwork like it's a diss track feature. When Screw commented on one of my videos about it, the irony hit hard. It almost felt like I somehow triggered this spiral myself. This whole mess just shows how insanely deep Drake's been watching the coverage. He's clearly obsessed with what people are saying about his fall from grace. And for someone who built his image on charm and control, that fragile ego is cracking fast. Instead of reflecting on his actions, he's trying to muzzle the voices pointing out the obvious. Back in the day, when stars had an ounce of dignity, they'd let people criticize, take it on the chin, and keep moving. But Drake? He's trying to pull the biggest no-no, shutting down the conversation entirely. That's dangerous territory, because hip-hop thrives on open talk, debate, and truth-telling. And now it's crystal clear. His mission isn't about justice or defamation, it's about fear. Drake and his crew want creators to think twice before speaking his name, using lawsuits like scare tactics. Targeting Screwface Jean, one of the most genuine creators in the scene, just proves how desperate things have gotten. He's not defending his legacy anymore. He's trying to erase the people documenting it. What Drake's doing right now isn't just petty, it's intimidation dressed up as power. These lawsuits and public jabs are nothing more than glorified scare tactics meant to shut people up and make creators too nervous to say a single bad word about him. It's control through fear, plain and simple. And then there's what he just did to Rob Markman. That was straight up disrespectful. Rob's one of the most respected, balanced voices in hip-hop media. He doesn't throw shade for clout, he speaks facts calmly and professionally. But instead of accepting fair criticism, Drake tried to clown him, calling him a goof like he was roasting someone in high school. That's not confidence. That's insecurity leaking out for the world to see. Drake knows what he's doing. When he publicly targets someone as respected as Rob, it sends a message. If I'll come for him, I'll come for anyone. And just like that, the intimidation works. Now, you've got Drake's wild fan base swarming Rob's mentions, digging into his personal life, and harassing him nonstop. It's disgusting behavior, but it's exactly what Drake wanted. Chaos that keeps people too scared to speak his name again. And don't even get me started on pages like Academics TV, who jump in to stir it up even more. They amplify Drake's shots and make sure the hate keeps circulating, all while pretending it's just reporting. Nah, this is strategy. Drake's weaponizing the culture to silence anyone with the guts to challenge him. I've seen it up close too. After I posted one particular video, one that covered a story involving Drake and something that clearly rattled him, something strange happened. Out of nowhere, I started noticing weird activity, messages, and signals that made me realize there's something going on behind the curtain. It's not paranoia, it's a pattern. So believe me when I say this. Something feels off in the industry right now. Like certain people are trying to police speech to make us second guess what we say and what we expose. That alone tells you how far Drake's reach goes. and how badly he wants to keep control. It's all starting to make sense now, isn't it? The pattern's right there in plain sight. Drake's not just reacting, he's running a full-on campaign to silence the voices that refuse to sugarcoat his behavior. Every creator brave enough to speak truth about his endless losses suddenly becomes a target, and that's not coincidence. That's control in action. And honestly, it's classic cupcake Karen energy, playing the victim while dodging accountability like it's a sport. Instead of facing the reality that maybe, just maybe, he's the one causing his own downfall, Drake's trying to flip the script and make everyone else look like the problem. It's exhausting, but it's also revealing, and because only someone truly shaken by criticism reacts like this. Now, if you're wondering why he's going after people like Screwface Gene, Rob Markman, or smaller creators, the logic's simple. He's not dumb. He knows who's safe to attack. Drake's not about to pick fights with powerhouses like Joe Budden, who's too established to be moved, or Charlemagne, who's backed by networks like Hot 97 and Apple Music. Those guys have entire media empires behind them. They're untouchable. But independent creators? That's where Drake thinks he can throw his weight around. He's targeting the ones who built their platforms from nothing, who don't have corporate shields or legal teams to fight back. People like me, like Screw, like so many others, we speak directly to the fans, no filters, no handlers, no PR spin, and that's exactly what scares him most. Because when the truth starts spreading from independent voices, it can't be bought, silenced, or buried, and deep down, Drake knows it. I'm just a guy talking about hip-hop. That's it. I don't have a massive team, a PR machine, or a corporate shield protecting me. And that's exactly why Drake thinks creators like me are easy to mess with. Unlike big radio hosts or industry insiders, we don't have contracts or executives backing us up. We just have our voices, our audiences, and the truth, and that's powerful enough to shake him. See, creators like the ones Drake's beefing with, we cover things in real time. We react, discuss, and expose the moments as they unfold. Most of us are just fans talking to other fans, trying to piece together what's really happening. No spin, no script, no industry filter, and that's what makes Drake's downfall so painfully obvious right now. The manipulation's clear as day. Drake understands how the media works. He just doesn't know how to play it anymore. He's used to controlling narratives, not reacting to them. He knows creators are way more natural, more authentic. We don't sound like polished PR bots, we sound real, and that's exactly why he's panicking. Before mainstream platforms even pick up a story, it's creators who start the conversation. We shape how people see him before the radio or streaming outlets even weigh in. So when he lashes out, it's not because he hates criticism, it's because he knows where it starts. Right here on platforms like this, where people still speak freely. And when you step back and really study his moves, it's obvious. Drake's following a page straight out of someone else's playbook. You know exactly who I'm talking about, but I'll leave their name unsaid for now. What we're witnessing is the unraveling of an ego too fragile to take criticism, too immature to own up, and too obsessed with control to let the truth breathe. At this point, Drake's not just being sensitive, he's spiraling. He's gotten so petty, so angry, and so thin-skinned that now anyone who even thinks about criticizing him becomes an instant target. He's officially reached the silence them all stage where his ego is running the whole operation. It's wild to watch, but also sad, because this is what happens when fame and paranoia collide. Drake's latest moves prove exactly why people are dragging him non-stop. He's not fighting for his reputation anymore. He's trying to erase the voices that question it. With this Not Like Us lawsuit and all the legal chaos tied to it, he's crossing a line that even his biggest fans can't defend. It's not just about shutting down other rappers. He's now coming for content creators, journalists, and commentators who dare to speak the truth about him. And when you look at Document 79 and what he did to Screwface Gene, it's straight up disturbing. He's trying to label creators as part of some imaginary conspiracy just because they said something he didn't like. Imagine threatening people's livelihoods just to keep your image polished. That's not power. That's fear disguised as control. But here's the twist. Screwface didn't fold. He flipped it on him with his response track, Document 79, and honestly, it's one of the most powerful clapbacks we've seen in a long time. The lyrics hit hard, calling out exactly what's happening and why it matters, that creators can't let this type of censorship slide. Screwface used Drake's own tactics against him, turning pressure into power and fear into fuel. His track reminded everyone why speaking truth in hip-hop matters, even when it makes the biggest names uncomfortable. Because when one man tries to silence the culture, it's up to the real ones to keep that mic hot and the truth louder than ever. At the end of the day, all this noise comes down to something simple. the right to speak freely. We should be able to talk about whatever we want, and artists should be able to express themselves without fear. But somehow we've reached this dark new low where fragile egos are running the show. It's not just rap anymore. It's the entire culture being strangled by people who can't handle a little criticism. These folks want the world to worship them, to treat them like they're untouchable. The moment someone says, "Nah, you're not perfect," they lose their minds. They want to rewrite the rules, silence every critic, and pretend the truth doesn't exist. That's not strength. That's weakness hiding behind fame and lawyers. And as for Drake, no matter how many tricks, lawsuits, or scared tactics he throws out, it's not going to work. He can't silence everyone. I'm not backing down, and neither is the community that's been calling out his nonsense. We're going to keep exposing the downfall, the missteps, and the arrogance, because somebody has to say it. The second we stop talking, he wins. This isn't just about one rapper's ego anymore. It's about a bigger principle. If someone like Drake can bully people into silence, then what's next? Who's safe to speak their mind after that? That's why it's more important than ever to keep pushing back and telling it how it is, loud, clear, and unapologetic. So now I gotta ask you, what do you think about this weird, petty beef Drake's trying to start with creators? Do you see the same power move I do? Because it's looking less like confidence and more like desperation. Let me know your thoughts, because this fight isn't just his anymore, it's ours too. I'm honestly excited to hear what you all have to say about this wild situation. This moment right here, everything happening between creators, artists, and the industry, it's gonna be remembered as a turning point in hip-hop history. Shout out to every single creator still standing strong, still speaking truth, and refusing to be silenced no matter what pressure comes their way. You're the real heartbeat of this culture. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, you already know what to do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to see what's really going on. It helps me out more than you know, and I appreciate the support now more than ever. And trust me, you're not gonna wanna miss what comes next, because if you thought Drake's been playing dirty lately, wait till you see who just stepped into the mix. Suge Knight himself just called him out, and the fallout is ugly. Drake tried to act like a fake pack, and now the real ones are speaking up. And that's the last thing he ever wanted. See you on the next one.